Everybody, it's me, Geoff Keighley. We are going to try and do a live bonus round here. This is something new, which we're pretty excited about. I'm going to have some special guests join us. Michael Pachter will be joining us. Peter Moore is going to join us. So we're going to see how this all works out. This is fun. A bonus round hasn't happened in a while, but I'm going to make sure that we're officially live here since we're doing this all kind of real. Oh yeah, here we go. We're real time. All right, it's all happening. So apparently, let's bring in. I think it's time to bring in a special guest now, live from his bunker in Long Beach. It is Michael Pachter. Pachter, what's up?
Hey, I'm bunking down. Beautiful day in Long Beach, by the way.
Yes, well, Pachter, it's good to see you. We haven't done a bonus round together, I want to say, and it's probably been like, 6 or 7 years, I think. But it's, wait, we've got another special guest, I think, who just joined us. Looks like Aaron Greenberg is with us as well now from Xbox. Hello, Aaron. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Pack Attack.
Pack Attack.
Aaron, I met Aaron on the bonus round. I love the bonus round. I did.
Well, we're bringing it back, and we got one more special guest live from the UK. The one and only Peter Moore. Peter, how are you?
Awesome. Look at all these friendly faces I'm seeing right here.
I was going to say, we just brought this together. I found this app. I'm like, let's do a live bonus round. So, yeah, guys, great to have you with us. This is like old times, bringing the crew back together. And Peter, of course, wearing the Dreamcast shirt, always.
Repping. Always representing, Jeff.
Oh, so
I still have my Dreamcast, Peter. $99.99.
You know what, Aaron? I always say it handed the baton to the Xbox as regards online gaming. So I feel justified in wearing this. Plus, I can't find an Xbox shirt right now. Simple as that.
This came together.
You might know people that can send you one.
That'd be great.
Well, guys, it's great to have you with us. So big day today, Aaron, with the Xbox Series X gameplay reveal that you guys just put together. So we saw you at the top and bottom of the show. No Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, opening and closing the show. Big day, Greenie.
Yeah, as you can tell, I don't produce the show. I generally like to be, behind the scenes. I've got a piece of radio as a team, so. But if they wanted me to set it up, it's great. I think the key point was this is the first look. We have a lot to show this year. We have teams working really hard, particularly our first-party teams. We know people want to see Halo and all that, so we have a big show planned for July. And, this isn't like a one-show, all of E3 kind of moment. Right. But, just like the Summer of Games that you're kind of pulling across the industry, Jeff, it's the same mindset we have about the season as well.
Yeah, there's no E3 this year, which I was actually watching back, Peter, this weekend, some of the old E3s with your GTA tattoo and all these great moments. And it's, we're in such a weird state right now with where the world is that everyone's kind of having to reinvent how they communicate with people. But I'm sure sure you miss those video game days, right?
Yeah, the clip that you put on Twitter was hilarious. Typical of me giving Sony shit about the pricing of their console. I think that's what it was. What was it? 15 years ago?
It was 2006 or 7, which is crazy.
I think it was 2005. I'm not even sure we shipped. 2006, yeah, because remember that they announced at E3. I think Kaz kicked Jack out onto the stage and said, "You go tell them it's $500. I'm not telling them." And then it all went downhill from there. And I think it was I think I was on with you pretty quickly afterwards.
Yep. No, it was. It's amazing. How many years Xbox has been doing this, and obviously, Peter, you were leading it for many years. Pachter, what's your take on kind of how is Xbox doing right now? How did they do this morning?
I think that they're still kind of pushing quantity over super high quality. Sorry, Aaron. There were a handful of games that looked phenomenal, but I think we expect games like Madden and Assassin's Creed to be on next gen consoles. I don't know that very many viewers are going to go buy an Xbox because of JRPGs. So that's fine. It's good that they have them. But I'm still waiting to see the big guns, and I think Aaron said it earlier. We're going to get a reveal.
Peter, show us the big guns.
Exactly, yeah. And actually,
there you go. Wow.
So they did fine. They did fine, and we know that there's another 100 games behind that. So I think that as they trickle out information all summer, I think people are going to get pretty excited about it. I mean, they did fine. I want that refrigerator though. The highlight to me was the fastest refrigerator on the planet, that Xbox Series X fridge.
And Peter, we saw some Assassin's Creed, which I think that E3 actually that was like Jade and Patrice on stage for E3 one of the years you did. It's like no cameo, but still some of your favorites, right?
Well, Gears is there, so just like back in the old days, yeah. And I remember, and Aaron might remember this, that Assassin's demo froze, and I can't remember who was ghostwriting. It might have been Blake Fisher. But we had to jump right in on that because Jade was on stage demoing, and that thing froze. And I think probably Blake Fisher was always the ghostwriter. If you remember Blake and George Peckham and that crowd were doing, they would always ghostwrite right behind and try and synchronize the gameplay. So, and the same happened with Gears of War, where I remember that. And it could have been Cliffy B that was demoing at the same time. But Blake Fisher always in the background came through. But yeah. Jade Raymond's still the producer? Probably not, right?
Jade's at Stadia now doing.
She's at Stadia. Yeah. I know exactly where she is, but yeah.
So what's Peter? You obviously still have many Xbox fans coming up to you. What's your take on kind of where Xbox is at right now, and the brand and the excitement around the new console? I'm sure it's bittersweet for you because new console's launching and you're not involved. But
oh no, I got enough problems of my own without consoles launching. Believe me. I'm just actually excited for the industry as a whole, and a wise man once said, "Let's never waste a good crisis." And from the perspective of what's happening with gaming right now, and things that we all need on a global basis to get us through these difficult times, gaming has jumped right in. I still follow very closely EA because my daughter still works there, Tony Marie. And I'm watching what EA is doing, obviously watching Sony, Microsoft. I'm enjoying the fact that the Switch, despite the initial naysayers, has more than hung in there. So I think we could be entering a golden era where more people have come to gaming in the last 6 weeks, maybe, and I don't know what the data would say, than ever before on a per capita basis, because they got nothing else to do. And they're clearly enjoying, as I talk to people and I watch people online, and I follow, whether it's on social media or on the business news, I'm following what's going on as regards engagement. I think this couldn't be a better time to start pushing the parameters. And the Series X and everything I just saw, catching up on the gameplay for the last 45 minutes, looks spectacular.
Yeah, if I could just, and unfortunately I'm going to have to leave. I have a full day of meetings. I just mostly want to come by and say hi to the three of you because I miss you all, and this is as close as I can get to giving you all a hug and all that. But I think what Peter said is spot on. I mean, it feels like gaming is really having its moment. I know internally we talk a lot about, everyone's working from home, getting releases out, getting updates out, even the show. Like, it takes us largely, I'd say, twice as much effort right now to get half as much done. But with that said, people have this real sense of purpose because we know gaming is that moment of fun and joy that people have with all that else is going on in the world and allows people to stay connected with friends and family. It's great to see Switch doing so well. I love the EA Stay and Play stuff they're doing. Just the whole industry rallying at this moment, and it's really sort of something special, and it's just great to see how it will continue this summer.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Greenie. Good to see you. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, Aaron.
All right. Good to see you. All right, now we're back with Peter and Pachter. So Greenie has left us. So now you can tell us what you really thought, Pachter. No, I'm just kidding. But it's no. I think for me, it was a really it's challenging when you're trying to tell your story across multiple months, right? And Peter remembers the old days where the press conference at E3 was kind of everything a part of the story. We didn't see any Halo today, which is obviously the flagship franchise for Xbox. So, Michael, do you think the fans were expecting more than what they got today?
I doubt it. I think actually you and I talked about this earlier today. Spreading this out over the summer is actually a great idea. We're going to get things when they're ready to be shown. And I think one of the biggest complaints I've heard from publishers in the past is that E3 forced them to show games that might not actually be polished enough to show. So I think we're going to get reveals when it's appropriate to have reveals. I think your concept of, a summer full of game reveals is really smart. It gives us something to look forward to the next event. I think Microsoft drove a tremendous amount of interest in this event by announcing it a week or so ago and kind of posting it everywhere on social media. And I'm curious to see the number of views, but I'll bet it was in the 10 million range. So I really think this is smart. And no, I don't think we're going to get everything the first day. Microsoft's being pretty smart about waiting Sony out here. From what I've seen, Sony's going to have to charge $500 for their PS5, and Microsoft has a big balance sheet. If they want to cut the price for by $100, just price below and subsidize the first 10 million, they will. So I think that they're waiting to have Sony blink first, and then they'll reveal the price and the launch date. It's going to be holidays, so very likely sometime in November. Very likely $400, and fans are going to get a lot for their $400.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, Peter. It's all the same thing, right? What's the price going to be? When's it coming out? What's the lineup?
Yeah, get Trenton to announce the $500 again. Yeah, I know. I mean, and Michael's right. I mean, you're going through what both companies are going through right now is how much can we afford to lose in the first 12 to 18 months? What is our attach rate of software to hardware? What is our revenue we can drive from services? What are we willing to do in year 1, 2, and 3 to hit 10 million, first to 10 million wins? Always remember that, Geoff. And from the perspective of each company, and Michael's right. Microsoft right now, the stock price, the market cap, everything's flying for them. Does Satya say, this is our opportunity, particularly with some of the challenges Sony may be having? This is our opportunity right now, as we did with Xbox 360. Let's get in, let's price it right, let's get the right content there, let's continue to build against Xbox Live, let's take advantage of this global crisis we're going through right now, because the thirst and appetite for these online experiences has never been greater in our history. And let's dare Sony to come in at $500. Let's dare Sony not have the online offering, which they typically haven't had, albeit obviously in the last few years, PlayStation Network has caught up. But, if I'm back in my old job of God knows how many years that was away, that's exactly what I'm doing. And that's exactly what I'm thinking through.
One of the things that's interesting this year is that, all the games are going to come out for the current Xbox and also the next one, right? So previous generations, you always had to sort of, buy the new box to get the new Halo. But this year, Microsoft's saying, hey, Halo, you're going to be able to play on your current Xbox, but it'll be better or optimized for the new box. So they're not sort of doing that generational shift. Michael, I'm curious, is that going to really change kind of, how people approach? Is it going to create less urgency to upgrade, do you think, because they're not going to be those Xbox Series X exclusives?
Absolutely, and by design. I think that, if you look back at Take-Two, they launched Grand Theft Auto 5 about, a month and a half before the Xbox One came out and the PS4 came out. And, then if you wanted to play it on the next gen, you had to buy it again. They waited a year to bring out the next gen. And that, I don't think Take-Two did anything wrong. I don't know technologically if they could have done it the same way. But I think Microsoft is kind of planning ahead and saying, hey, you can make a risk-free purchase right now for your Xbox One, and whenever you get around to buying an Xbox Series X, your game will work. I think that is super consumer-friendly. I think the other thing that they're doing that's really innovative is that they're in a position finally to bundle services. So they started a subscription program to buy an Xbox, $30 a month or something, and then they started Game Pass, and they have always had Xbox Live. You're starting to see them bundle that stuff together. I think there's going to be an offering, $40, $50 a month, and that's it. No down payment, and you get a brand new Xbox Series X, Game Pass, Xbox Live. And that makes it a lot easier for most consumers to sign up. You don't have to save up $500, right up front and then pay a subscription. You can just, do it on an installment plan like you do with your cell phone. So Microsoft is being pretty consumer friendly here. Sony's going to have to follow suit, and I expect that they will.
And there's rumors that they might have a second Xbox, right? Like sort of a higher end one and a lower end one, right?
I've heard the same. I can't figure out what the higher end one gets you.
Oh, wait a second. Peter Moore just gets the beer handed to him. I love it. Hello. Good to see
What's
you.
up,
Same thing.
Debbie, my
Oh, yeah,
wife?
Debbie, what's
Right
up?
here, look at that.
I was like, I love
It's a sunny day in
hand with the
Liverpool.
beard. I was going to
She's knocking
say.
inside because the sun's shining. It's not often that it happens. But,
All right, this is
All right, thanks,
this
man.
first drink on the bonus round. I love it. Factor, get the scotch out.
It's only 9 in the morning here, John. I have standards. I don't drink till 10.
Oh my God! Well, it's it's interesting to see where Xbox is going with this, and I'm sure Peter, you still have the fans coming up to you. I'm sure, right? Giving you feedback.
Yeah, it's funny. As I travel the world now with the club, unfortunately, millions of people know who I am. We're the biggest football club in the world, and we're the world champions, we're the European champions, soon to be the English champions. But as often as not, I'll walk the streets of Liverpool or wherever I happen to be, and people will stop me and want to talk about Xbox or want to talk about Dreamcast. And it's fun. It really is. And I lost you.
I hear you, Peter.
Yeah, we can hear you, Peter.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah,
I
Awesome.
hear you, Peter.
All right, well, thanks, Peter. Great to have you with us as always.
Yeah, a lot of fun, always. I'm looking forward to everything that's going on here. I like I said, I keep a close eye on it, and it's just wonderful to be able to talk to people like Aaron and Michael and yourself and Geoff. You don't look a day older, and it's just one of those things that we all remark about online. It's been a blast. Now, it really has. So yeah, I do miss it, and I miss it terribly. But I'm delighted to see where the industry is. I'm delighted to see where my old friends at Xbox are. And as I said earlier, I think we're in a great position here to be able to, we being video gaming, to help heal the world a little bit with our experiences and the uniqueness of what we deliver. So, and I hope that's the case.
No, I agree with you, and we miss you in the video game industry, Peter. It's I know you're taking care of your life's passion over there, but it's times like these where we'd love to have you at these events, but now you can participate virtually, and I hopefully Greenberg's at least going to send you a Series X now at least.
Well, he better after everything I did for him. He owes me his entire career. So from that.
We'll leave it on that note. All right, Peter Moore, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Geoff. Cheers, Michael. Thanks, everyone.
Talk soon.
All right, cheers.
All right. Peter Moore joining us live from Liverpool, which is amazing. Great to have Peter with us. So Pac, this is crazy. We're doing like a virtual bonus round here. I know you still have the Pactor Factor, right? That you're doing.
I do.
Check that out. That'll be on YouTube, right? I mean, what would we typically do these grades after these events, giving people kind of like A, B, C, D. I put a poll up on Twitter. I should actually check sort of how people are grading Xbox right now. It looks like right now so far, with 24,000 votes, 7% gave him an A, 18% a B, 29% a C, and 45% a D or lower. So it seems like, at least based on social sentiment, it's a little low. But I do think one thing that I found is that I think people had crazy expectations of sort of what this was going to be. And you read, online, it's like, I want Elden Ring, I want Resident Evil, I want, X and Y. And I mean, it was a lot of cool games from smaller studios and Assassin's Creed, but people had this expectation that this was E3 level. So how would you grade what Xbox did?
Yeah, I think again, I'm really impressed with what you're putting together with the Summer Games Fest. That we're going to get stuff every few weeks, if not every week. Look at this today as the first quiz of the semester. So this is maybe 10% of the grade, and we're going to have 5 more quizzes. Then we'll get to the final, and that's going to be 40% of the grade. So sure, they got an A on the first quiz. They handled this week's lesson flawlessly. I did not expect more than this. I did not think they were going to give us any more specs or pricing or dates on the hardware. They said very clearly this was third-party software, and so we saw a lot of third-party software. And again, a handful of AAA great games and a greater quantity of smaller games, but everything looked good. So no, I mean, the big reveal here was smart delivery. Big reveal was you don't have to buy an Xbox Series X when it comes out. You can safely wait a year or two, and I think that's very consumer friendly. So they get an A on their pop quiz, and 10% of the grade. We'll see how they do on the next one.
What do you now? After this, how do you think Sony approaches it with PlayStation 5? They've been very quiet, right, so far. Do you think this will impact Sony's strategy at all?
Well, my understanding was they had planned something for GDC, and they passed. So, kind of waiting to see what their big reveal is. I truly think, we're kind of back to where we were in 2013 when Sony was scared to death that Microsoft was going to launch, the Xbox One at $349, and Sony wasn't going to be able to match the price, and they got lucky. The Series or Xbox One with Kinect was $500. I think they're both waiting for the other guy to blink, and I think Sony doesn't realize Microsoft doesn't. GAF. I mean, they'll wait. They're going to wait. I don't think we're getting a price until a day after Sony gives us a price, and Sony's going to have to save $500. So that's the big open question. When is Sony going to save $500? What is consumer reaction going to be to that? The company has already said we're going to be supply constrained by design because we don't think there'll be that much demand, and we don't want to take a big loss on these things. Sony doesn't have $50 billion in the bank the way Microsoft does. They can't sit around, and subsidize every box. So, frankly, I think Microsoft is in the driver's seat right now. But again, this is just like politics, religion, colleges, European football teams. You have your favorite, and that's who you root for no matter what. PlayStation fans are rooting for Sony. Xbox fans are rooting for Xbox. And it's going to be hard to win over very many of the other camp. Pricing is a big determining factor. If Xbox is $100 cheaper, they're going to win over some PlayStation fans, especially when people don't have jobs, don't have money coming in. I mean, they've got to really be, they got to think about their next big purchase. So again, that's why I like smart delivery. If you're unemployed, for $60, you can play a game for a year or two until you can save up the money to buy the next Xbox.
So you think Sony will announce the price first and Microsoft will follow?
I think Microsoft's going to wait. Just wait them out. Microsoft may not announce the price until the launch date. I don't think anybody cares about pre-orders.
No, you have to, but right.
Yeah.
But if they're going to do pre-orders, you have to have a price. So you think, they're going to have to. You're just saying that they're going to wait. They're going to wait until Sony does that, and if Sony doesn't do that till the fall, you won't hear an Xbox price until the fall.
That would be my advice to Microsoft, and as you know, they always take my advice.
That's right. Well, as we say with Pactor, it's like often wrong, but never in doubt, right?
That's my motto.
Awesome. All right, Pac. Well, so yeah, this is the Summer Game Fest. Maybe we'll keep doing these throughout the summer as we all quarantine, and we'll see. Yeah, he said there's lots of events coming up. There'll be some in June, obviously. EA announced their event, EA Play and everything. But it seems like, and you're covering all the gaming stocks and public companies this week. It seems like gaming has actually kind of fared okay in the midst of all this, which is kind of such an unprecedented time for the world, but feels like games are something for people to do at home. So you're pretty bullish on gaming overall this year still? Yeah,
I think Peter said it well. I mean, look, we're staying at home, and the vast majority of the world is staying at home. If you're still employed or if you're going to school, you're saving at least an hour a day commuting. I mean, everybody is, and some people far more than that. Yeah. You're saving probably a half an hour or so a day not grooming. I shaved for you. I took a shower before I normally do for you. Yeah, I'm just saying we're saving a lot of time, and we're probably a lot more efficient at home. I mean, you're not having coworkers pop in the office and start talking to you. So I think we freed up about 2 hours a day, and if you before spent 10% of your time playing games, of your entertainment hours, you've got 14 hours extra time. You're going to spend an extra 1.4 hours playing games, period. So the more we play games, the more opportunity there is to spend money. And it directly translates into spending on free-to-play games. So I think Fortnite, Apex, huge beneficiaries. Activision just reported Warzone is killing it. Call
60 million plus, I think, right?
Yeah, and the numbers were big. The numbers were massive. So, the fact is, and I think Peter did say it right, these companies aren't trying to exploit, people who are afraid of getting sick. They're trying to entertain people who are afraid of getting sick. And we've all got enough, depressing news in our lives. It's fun to escape and play games. And I have to say, everybody I know is playing games. And I think that, they're probably winning over another 5%, 10% of the public that didn't play games before are trying games. If nothing else, they're playing Candy Crush on their phones. So, the games are filling the vacuum created by the pandemic, and publishers are absolutely thriving. And I think that consumers are getting value for the money they're spending. So, I don't begrudge anybody who spends a couple of bucks in Fortnite on a skin. That if that gives them joy, God bless them. They should do more of that.
Yep. No, it's going to be an interesting year. There'll be more to come, and as always, Pactor, it's great to have your insights. We'll have to do this again soon.
All right, Geoff. Thank you. Stay well.
All right. Thanks, Michael Pactor. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This has been the first ever virtual bonus round as part of Summer Game Fest, and we'll have a lot more coming up here in the days and weeks ahead. As I mentioned, I'll be back on Tuesday with a game reveal with a special guest. No, not him, but another special guest. And then more events coming up over the next few weeks as we kind of have this virtual summer of video game events. I'm excited to kind of build this in partnership with obviously the game publishers, but also all of you guys in the community. So if you have ideas or thoughts on things that you think we should be doing, or you want to see more of this or that, I'm going to kind of build this in real time based on your feedback. So that's where things began. It's a little different than past years for all of us, but we're going to have, I think, a big summer. And of course, we anticipate hopefully big news from PlayStation. Xbox has already said in July they'll have a big showcase, and we'll do a big show around that. So we're going to kind of do more of this. And I'm going to kind of find my way through all of it. And again, we'll hopefully have a big show at the end of August with the Gamescom show that we're going to do live still on August 24th. And then we will also, of course, get ready for the Game Awards. We're working very hard on that. Even though we don't quite know where the world's going to be in December, we're in the middle of working on set designs and planning some big announcements and surprises for you in December. So we'll have more to share about the Game Awards later this summer. But believe me, we've been working very hard behind the scenes to make sure, I think more than ever, we need to get everyone together in December to hopefully celebrate games as an industry and also what they mean to all of us personally. So, all right, well, that was my first big live stream. It was great to have Michael Pactor with us, Peter Moore, Aaron Greenberg. We'll do more of this soon. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Summer Game Fest all summer long. We got 4 months of stuff all through the end of August. So we'll be seeing you guys again soon. Have a great day, and now I got to pop on Twitter to see what you guys are saying. Talk soon.